With all the changes going on with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there's no doubt that Fantastic Four First Steps, coming out this summer, is one of the biggest make or break movies for them this year. We know Captain America Brave New World was a complete and total failure at the box office, lost money for Marvel. Thunderbolts is projected to make even less than Captain America Brave New World. But Fantastic Four is the movie that's supposed to change everything, that's supposed to right the course, that's supposed to rejuvenate the MCU in the lead up to Avengers Doomsday. Unfortunately, the more we find out about this movie, the more troubling it becomes, the more it seems like it's just the same old Marvel Cinematic Universe. Of course, we know the option of going with female Silver Surfer. We knew why that happened. We've seen this time and time again over the last 5 years of the MCU. But now we're hearing about some of the Fantastic Four characters themselves and the significant changes that they've made to them. And I'm not sure if comic book fans or Marvel fans or Fantastic Four fans are going to be very happy to hear about this. The Fantastic Four director and cast reveal some huge changes to the Human Torch and Invisible Woman. Yeah, why would we want to adapt the source material? Why would we want to, actually give people these characters they've been asking for in the Marvel Cinematic Universe for the past decade? I don't know. Why would we do something like that? We need to change them to make them more acceptable for the modern era. Why don't we start with Human Torch? I feel like we can start with Human Torch. That'll probably work. Human Torch, a lot of people, is one of people's favorites from the Fantastic Four. They love Johnny Storm. They love him for who he is. Well, he's not going to be that Johnny Storm in this iteration, apparently. Joseph Quinn on his adaptation of Johnny Storm in Fantastic Four. Kevin Feige and I were speaking about previous iterations of him. He was branded as this womanizing, devil-may-care guy, but is that sexy these days? I don't think so. This version of Johnny is less callous with other people's feelings. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for you to cuck Johnny Storm. I can't wait. You might as well just make him gay, right? Flame on may have a literal meaning in this iteration of Fantastic Four. I don't know if they're going to go that far with it. That's been the joke for a while. If the MCU ever actually properly adapted Johnny Storm, that we would get a gay version of Johnny. But you are taking a character who's known for certain things, and you're changing those things because that's not okay. It's not okay for him to want to flirt with women. It's not okay for him to be callous with other people's feelings. This is 2025. These are the same things they want to do to these characters, say like James Bond. James Bond for the Me Too era. Well, now we're going to have Johnny Storm, putting aside his womanizing ways. Even though they're in an alternate timeline from the 60s, right? We got to have Johnny Storm. He can't be that guy anymore. What about his sister? What about Sue Storm? Because that's another thing that comes up in this article. And one of the interesting things I thought, Sue Storm has also undergone some big changes during the transition from Paige to Scream. This take on the Invisible Woman has helped achieve global demilitarization and peace, with the filmmaker describing her as the most emotionally intelligent person on the planet. Between her and Reed, they're building an idealistic society. And let's go to hear what Vanessa Kirby, and I think Vanessa Kirby is a great casting for Sue Storm. I was really happy when we heard about that casting because I think she looks the part. I think Vanessa Kirby's hot. However, how is it going to be portrayed? It's 2025, and this is Marvel, and this is Disney. I've always been really interested in the mess of femininity. How can you be both? How can you be all the things? Not just the tough, invincible, powerful woman, but also a mother who gives birth, which is itself the superhero act. And I don't mind that part. I love that these characters are real humans in a messy family who argue and try to work it out and get things right. No problems with that first paragraph. If you played an exact 60s Sue today, everyone would think she was a bit of a doormat. So figuring out how to capture the essence of what she represented to each generation, where the gender politics were different, and embody that today was one of the greatest joys in this. Are we getting red flags? Is anybody else getting red flags for this adaptation of the Fantastic Four? And look, this is the movie of this year. This is the entry of this year for Marvel. The most important thing they're doing. Fantastic Four First Steps. Because, yeah, Brave New World, fucking disaster. Black Captain America flops at the box office. The Thunderbolts, I don't know if anyone cares about the Thunderbolts. And that right now is projected to make less than Captain America Brave New World. But this is the movie that was supposed to set a new tone, that was supposed to lead us into Avengers Doomsday, that was supposed to set up all these things. This is the most important thing that Marvel has this year. And already, here are comments about, Kevin Feige and Joseph Quinn saying, I don't know about that Johnny Storm guy. He's not appropriate for this modern era. We better change him to be more acceptable to people. And now you hear this from Sue Storm about gender ideology, gender politics, how they need to do this, how they need to change these things. Well, we can't adapt Fantastic Four, Sue Storm. That wouldn't be okay. People wouldn't respect her now. People want these characters. They want a proper adaptation of the characters that they read for decades and decades and decades in the comic books. That's what they want. That's what people want. And you're using the name Fantastic Four because of those characters. How many times do we have to go over this? I mean, everyone should be skeptical about every single thing Marvel does because it's clear that they're floundering, that they're lost, that they're desperate for some type of change, but they don't understand how to do it because they're the ones that sunk this ship. But if you needed any more red flags or any more reason to be worried about Fantastic Four, I feel like you just got it. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.